Velocity Money. Uh, I kind of feel like I've come up with a concept. I'm pretty sure other people have touched on it before. I just don't necessarily know what to call it exactly or what to name it and whatnot, right? Um, but in a nutshell, the planets astrologically, pretty much everything in life itself functions on different levels, right? For baseline categorization, you could just say everything functions on either a physical, mental, or spiritual level or whatnot, right? Of course, we can further divide these categories and get real subtle with it. It probably can go on infinitely, but again, just for a baseline level of categorization, physical, mental, spiritual, right? And based off of certain chart configurations, you can see whether, or you can tell whether this Mars is going to be more so of a mentally active Mars or a physically active Mars or spiritually active Mars, right? And don't get it twisted. All of these levels of reality are interconnected. So all three are always active in some way, shape, or form. It's just whether it's just about how conscious and how in control of these different levels of reality is the individual, right? But all of the levels are active nonetheless and interconnected nonetheless. So you're never going to see a purely physically active Mars and Mars is just dead from a mental aspect or a spiritual aspect, or you're never going to see a moon that's just spiritually rooted and there's no mental or physical manifestation about the moon, right? It's just not going to happen. It's just more so about, you know, um, is the natives moon more dominant from a mental level, right? Or is it more dominant from a physical level? Do they have all the comforts of reality? Do they have the polygamy? You feel me? Is everything, if they're pretty much comforted and coddled and don't necessarily have to work a lot, they, beautiful environment, all this extra shit, but even though they have these things, they might be devoid of maturity or emotional maturity, rather, right? Or let's say you got a woman with a certain Venus placement, right? A certain Venus placement, you feel me? She might be drop dead gorgeous. She's exalted, beautiful, beauty of the gods, flawless. You know what I'm saying? Like Coke bottle, all that. But when she opened her mouth, she's nasty, she's crass, she's disrespectful, she's a inner person, or she's an ugly person innerly and whatnot, right? And devoid of spiritual essence or whatever you want to call it. This is what I pretty much am trying to touch on, right? It's a way to see if the planet is more so functioning physically, mentally, or spiritually. What sphere of reality is dominating within this particular chart? And you can get even more intricate with it. You can take it to Dacia or place of birth as well, right? We do have to consider the community, the lifestyle, the country, you know what I'm saying, the area, even the family environment, you feel me, of the person's chart that we're analyzing. Because this does, the cultural reality, the country has a birth chart in itself, and the country has its own set influences within itself. The different states do, the different factions of reality. You know what I'm saying? The different types of people they encounter. All of these are differing astrological influences that can more so hyperactivate certain aspects already present within your chart and numb out other aspects that are present as well, right? So we have to assess that as well. But getting back to the different levels of reality, I'm gonna do an example chart right quick. Two example charts. All right, so we got the chart of Cat Williams, and the second chart is going to be the Liberian general, General Butt Naked. This is not, you know what I'm saying, me making a joke of some sort. I did not give this man this name. This is you know what I'm saying, this is a title he earned himself, due to the fact that he is a warlord, and when he would go to war, he would get ass naked, he would pray to his god, do demonic rituals, and he would take the lives of many soldiers, right? And the opposing armies would proclaim that, you know, he was invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like bullets would bounce off his body, yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera. Supposedly he was a high level occult practitioner, or whatever, and really deeply contracted with some god of some sort. But getting into Cat Williams' chart, the reason that I'm doing both of their charts is because they're born like 28 days apart. So the chart is quite similar. And even though they're born 28 days apart, they have the same moon, Mars, and North Node. You know what I'm saying? So moon, Mars, and North Node, I'm going to be paying more attention to the Mars or whatnot. We know Cat Williams to be a comedian, right? But from a physical aspect, Cat Williams isn't the most Martian guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you really want to be honest, Cat Williams got kind of a fruitarian disposition. Now, people want to say it's pimp shit. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call Cat a fruit. I'm not going to designate him to that aspect of reality. But yeah, he sometimes displays himself in questionable clothing, right? But all in all, Cat is not the most Martian guy, right? Um, yeah, small stature. I'm not sure if he's ever engaged in boxing or some sort of physical discipline that would allow him to strengthen his vessel to be a problem of some sort. Maybe he has. I don't think so, because I know he fought the nigga, and he hasn't. He hasn't. He has. I'm gonna just leave it there. He fought a teenage nigga or something, and the nigga did him dirty easily. But what was I saying before I got off track? Yeah. So he isn't the most physically Martian, right? This is his ascendant. Mars is seventh lord, second lord. You know what I'm saying? Second lord would show that physical activity would be in the mix as well. And Cat is known to be a nigga who get into a lot of skirmishes for some reason, right? Into a lot of chaos, into a lot of bullshit for whatever reason or whatnot, right? But Cat as a character, you know, as a manifest character, he's more so mentally Martian, and you could even say spiritually. I heard he's a Mason. You know, he deals within Hollywood sectors, or sectors that's close to Hollywood or whatnot. You feel me? And you know, he tries to stay righteous, right? He likes to preach about righteousness, not knowing how to tell Diddy no, you feel me, how to stay out of certain sections of Hollywood, or you feel me, about not bending over or giving into their system or whatnot, and knowing how to play his cards right, knowing how to negotiate his contracts right, you feel me, and still make millions and millions of dollars within the industry that was designed for demons without becoming a demon or whatnot, right? It takes a lot of mental fortitude and inner Martian integrity to be able to pull off such a feat and whatnot, right? And to have the mentality to keep going, and to keep standing up for what's right, bucking against the system, uh, regardless of feeling like the odds might be against you, or regardless of seeing, you know, all your peers capitulate to a particular system of evil. You know, like he stood on his square. He was about his business. That's a real strong, mentally active Mars, and plus spiritual with him, I guess, being a part of the Masons, or you know, him having to deal in certain sectors with certain levels of symbology, whatever, to protect himself, right? So the mental and spiritual is more so there, not necessarily the physical, even though the physical was active because he was getting in a lot of fights, you know what I'm saying? And being vocally disrespectful to, pissing off a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like pissing off a lot of people, talking shit, directly stating the content of his mind or whatever. I guess you could say the vocalization, that's like a section of reality in between mental and physical. It's ether, it's sound. It's not quite physically rooted, but it's noticeable or it's registered within the physical, right? So getting to General Butt Naked Eye. General, he's known to have killed many soldiers. You know, he was an actual general. He you can look him up on YouTube. He's had interviews about going to war and drinking the blood out of his enemies' hearts and beheading children and, you know, raping and pillaging and all of this demonic activity and stuff. Though he claims to have turned his life around, let go of that particular lifestyle, and he gave his life to God, right? And now he's like a missionary or an evangelist in Liberia and whatnot, right? And he's a preacher, whatever you want to call it. You feel me? He's about the Lord now. And but his previous journey will show you that his Mars was definitely physically chaotic. You know, that's probably like his Mars. You don't. It's rare to experience such a deep level of chaos on the physical plane. In today's age, at least, you know, with any Mars placement, right? Most human beings don't go through that. Definitely not human beings from the United States, right? And his Mars was also spiritually active. You know what I'm saying? He contracted himself to whatever God. He said that God was the source of his spiritual powers and his ability to go into battle and not be hit by a weapon, or, you know, to not be stopped and always come out victorious and whatnot. And though it was physical and and spiritually active, when it comes to the mental, it's like he it would seem, at least, he lacked aggression. Maybe that's just because he turned his life around, but it was very much so seen that, you know, when he's talking about the killings that he's done, you know, all of the things that he's done or whatever, he really talks about it like it's just an experience, like it's just something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just another day in the life, another page in a book or whatever. Like he's unfazed by it. Like he's quite numb about it. So it's not it's not what I'm trying to say is it's not a great deal of mental Martian presence there that's noticeable uh within this individual. Matter of fact, I would say it's not a great deal of moon, rather, because the moon would make somebody sorrowful or caught up in their emotion. You know what I'm saying? All these different things, but he doesn't necessarily display that, even though he given his life to the Lord, and you feel me, on to doing better things or whatnot. But and it's different reasons as to why, even though they only born, you know what I'm saying, like 28 days apart, they have the same exact Mars, Moon, and North Node or whatever. It's different reasons why they've led two totally different lifestyles or whatnot, right? Like two totally different Hollywood comedian versus demonic warlord. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, all in all, it's different levels of reality. I'll probably do a video with more evidence, more research, more in the explanation as to how to see um exactly where is the majority of a planet's function. You know, is it going to be physical, mental, or spiritual? Velas.